Hello and welcome to the third annual end of year, beginning of year preview, end of year review, beginning. Anyway, welcome. And it is the end of 2019. In a week, we'll have 2020. It is Christmas night right now, and I am excited to bring to you my cross stitch year in review. Super excited. I have a pile of stuff all around me. I emptied the board so that we can start over and show you guys the progress that I did or didn't make this year, and we'll kind of go from there. And also talk about a few things that kind of discovered along the way, cross stitch related and other things related. And we're just gonna have some fun, and I hope you guys enjoy this. If you are someone who just works on one project at a time, bless you, because that is not me. And so you'll see this. I was actually watching last year's year in review before I sat down to make this video, and I'm writing down like the different projects, and then I thought, okay, well, what else do I not have on the board here? And then I just started writing more, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have so many projects. If you didn't know, I'm a little out of control. So, but I'm going to show you a t-shirt. I haven't showed you guys a t-shirt in a while, but this is the t-shirt that, well, I showed you guys earlier, but this is the one that my husband just got for me. A day without cross stitch is just like, is kidding. I have no idea. So that's what I want to make 2020, is to get back to being a year of cross stitch, because this year was the year of everything else. A lot of stress, a lot of business stress, work stress. It is all coming to fruition. Things are, I had to spend this last year building and working towards some things, and I'm hoping that it's going to result in more free time for me, more stitching time, less stress, and we're just going to have a really good time. So before we get started, I also want to talk a little bit about the blog that I have, stitchingjules.com, something that I also really changed a lot and worked on a lot this year, and it does have to do with cross stitching, but now a lot, so much more. Just today added sections for resources where you can find YouTubers, you can find online stores, supplies, things like that for knitting and crochet, things like adult coloring books, jigsaw puzzles, which someday I would love to do again, diamond painting, just all kinds of things. We're just going to keep on adding resources so that if you have other interests besides cross stitching, that the blog is still some place that you can go to and hopefully find a nice collection of just a lot of things. So anyway, I don't even know how to start this, to be perfectly honest. But let's talk first about maybe the most important thing that happened this year. Gloria, Gloria. Sorry, one more time. Stanley Cup champions. Mwah! All right, that was amazing. Game 4, awesome. All right, so before we get started, I will say there is one thing that is going to make a massive difference in my cross stitching this coming year. And I keep doing an ad for these guys, but I love it. It's Pattern Keeper. If you have an Android phone or an Android tablet, Chromebook, I'm not sure if they do them on Chromebooks, but it's not for iPhone yet. But if you have an Android, and thank goodness I do, but Pattern Keeper is an app that you can get with as long as you have like a touch screen, where you can basically use it as a instead of using your printed out pattern, you can use a pattern on your phone, on your tablet, and trust me, it is so much easier to, it's so much faster, easier, and more fun to work on cross stitch projects, especially the kind that I do, the really big full coverage cross stitch with lots of color changes. It just makes it so much easier with Pattern Keeper. So thank you to Pattern Keeper for being there, and thank you for you guys who finally, pushed me into doing it, because I do love it. I only have it on 2 projects so far, and I'm hoping that as the year goes on, that I will be able to add more projects to Pattern Keeper as more designers are added to their catalog, so that we can all enjoy it. So, but anyway, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is really the only finish I had all year that I can remember. If I'm missing something, please let me know, because when I was watching the video and I was looking at a couple different projects, I'm like, how did I only get that little stitched? And I remember shooting the video and thinking, oh, I'm going to get so much more stitched this year. This year is a blur. I mean, I'm not even kidding you guys. It went by so fast. I've been so busy all year. You guys know that if you've been following me. But the only one I finished was the Pluribus Unum. Wait, that's Charity for All. Where did I put? Oh, there it is. I had to go dig this out because I still haven't gotten it framed. And I probably finished it in February or March. I ended last year with it 99% finished. I only needed to add another, like, a couple of numbers and a letter. So let me show you what it looked like. And look how much, see, I did this. I totally messed up with the fabric. But you guys can sort of see how it came out. I just needed to add this area down here. And I actually kind of, I just sort of made it up based upon this lower stuff here is kind of how I did it. And then I ended up finding the pattern for it. And I could have finished it with the numbers, and but I found that like much later in the year, so it's no big deal. But this is my only finish, and it has not gotten framed yet, so that's a goal, is to get that framed. It's a very big goal. So let's see. Somebody's making some noise. Hold on. Sorry about that. Just dog's being a little loud downstairs, distracting. But so that was E Pluribus Unum. So. This was one from Heartstrings Samplery, and if you just Google it, you can still find a version of that. It's still out there on Etsy, and I think their website is on Etsy. But anyway, that was a smaller project, but I actually finished it, even though it's probably like 40 stitches or something. So I'll take it. So all right, and then let's see. So I basically have a couple of different piles here that I need to kind of go through and show you. We're going to look at projects that I had already started and have the least amount of progress on. And then we're going to progress to projects that I've had before, and then I got more like that are further along. And then we're going to finish up with projects that I obtained this year, and that likely I will do at some point. We'll see, but we just got to move through them all. But I know, guys. I know, seriously. So anyway, so we're going to start with, we're going to organize first. All right, so first section is projects that really didn't get a whole lot done on this year. And the first one that we're going to look at is with Malice, which is my Erica Michaels project. That is the Lincoln quote from, was it the second inaugural address with Malice Towards None, Charity for All. I usually call it either Charity or With Malice, but this is a beautiful piece. And the reason why I did not get very far on it was because there was an issue at some point in the year where I was required to wash the project. And what I didn't realize when I washed the project is that the silk that I was using, the silk threads that I were using, were going to bleed. And let me tell you, I could not trust me on this. The stain that was there, I had to wash it. But it ended up bleeding. Anyway. So the crazy thing is that I actually had gotten quite a lot more stitched on it. When I finished last year, I think I had gotten like maybe the top 3 lines over to about here or so. And so I finished all this, and then everything from here down I had also done this year. But it was when I got to these colored silk threads here that the dye basically bled. So the question is, do I just continue? Do I ignore this? Do I... what should I do? I don't think I'm going to go back to using the floss. I think I might just use the DMC, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I know there's probably those of you who are like, no, not DMC. But, I just, I don't want to have to wash it and if something happens. So, but I think, I want to say, where is it? Yeah, so all the way down here, where is it? So if you see kind of here, where are we? Let's look. So we are down in 4, Okay, so if you look at this, I'm actually like right about that. So I'm really just leaning towards just using some DMC and just going back over it, finishing it, and letting the stains stay. The stains in our life, you know what? They're stains. Sometimes they don't come out, right? Yeah, okay. But, you know, it just, I think in the interest of actually finishing something and finishing this one that I love, I think that that would be fine. It's, the fabric has been through a lot, and it is a linen. This is probably like a 32 count. And I probably just need to get over myself, take this part out, and just maybe try, what was it that I was supposed to try? I think I have like linen though, guys. Linen. What would get something out of linen? But anyway, maybe try it again and sort of see. Take the stuff out, and maybe the dye will come out. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so that is something. Let me know what you guys think down below. Should I just finish it the way that it is, or should I start over and do it right? Well, right. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm torn. I'm very torn about that. So this is going to go over in this pile, and this is going to go up here, because we're going to put these up one at a time, pieces that I am working on a little bit at a time. And I am not cutting the pattern out of this particular thing, because the inside of it actually has some really good text in it that I don't want to lose. So there's that one. Next up, floss everywhere. Next one up, Boba Fett. Oh, Boba Fett, you're the bane of my existence, Boba Fett. Now, I got some progress done on this. If you go back and look at last year's video, this was the first project that I showed, and it may not look like I got a lot of progress done, but I definitely got progress done. But there was clearly a point about halfway through the year where I was just like, I'm not feeling this anymore. I don't like doing this anymore, and I just kind of slowed down on it. Now, I still want to do it, and part of it is, let me show you what it's supposed to look like. So we got this here. So, and this is stains. Again, I think stains. Is it stains all the way through? It's hard to know sometimes. This house is a mess sometimes. But part of it is the whole Mandalorian thing with Star Wars. It would be cool to finish them. And it would be cool just to see how much of this actually appears. Because, you know, there's like buildings and ships and stuff. And will this actually show up on the design? It'd be cool if it did. It'd be cool if it didn't. If it just ends up being the outline of Boba Fett, totally fine. But the sad thing is this wouldn't really take very long if I would just focus on it. So let's look again. This is on, I think 14 count. It's like a light gray Ada. But I'm all the way to the top. I got all the way to the bottom. But yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll see. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. That's the thing. And I should do it. I gotta finish. Finish it. All right, I'm gonna put that one out there. Oh, there we go. All right, next up, we're gonna show some City from Greenwich Village, which is a Scarlet Quince blended thread project. And I didn't really work on this one this year, I think, at all. Part of it is because I actually went and started a different blended thread project from Scarlet Quince, something that I thought that I could actually stitch faster, and I was right, because I'm a lot further along than I am on this one. But let me show you this. I know you guys love this one. I love it too. I think it's beautiful. I know it's really dark, but it's beautiful, and someday this will get done. As it falls down. But let's just show you where we're at. And this is another 14 count Ada, very soft Ada, sort of a tan sandstone or something. But I think I got a little bit further down than I was last year, but not much. Really not much at all. So, again, I think it's a harder project to do. And, I moved away from the things that were harder for me. And, like most of us would. So, I got to get back to it. I know I got to get back to it, but that's just kind of where we're at right now. And how am I going to display this? Because this is heavy. I know I could put it over here. Should I just put it over here for now? Oh, I got that new printer, so I could totally make a copy of the cover page of both of these Scarlet Quince projects. Put it on the to-do list. Let me actually write that down. To do. Todo. Copies of Scarlet Quince photos. Brilliant. All right. And then, finally, the last of the I didn't get a lot done. Now, this one is actually addition by subtraction and then addition. The biggest mystery that we had all of 2019 was what happened to the Dachshund Project. Literally, what happened to it. We lost our miniature dachshund, Coco. She passed away in mid-year. And at some point, right around that time, the Dachshund cross stitch went missing. It has been at least 6 months. We still have not found it. It is crazy. It's literally like her spirit took that with her. And I was definitely well into page 2, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it was for this project for me. And I spent months looking for it, hoping it would just pop up somewhere, and it never did. So finally I just was like, all right, I'm going to get new fabric, and I'm going to start over. And the guys at Gecko Rouge were super nice. They were going through a lot of stuff when I was trying to get things from them. And I hope everything's going well for you guys now. And thank you again for helping me out so much. But I got some more floss, and I got the pattern again. And I mean, everything's going to turn out just fine. But let's show you the Dachshund. So last year, basically, I think I'd stitched about right there, like all of this right here. I had stitched all that, and I think I was even further down on the face. And that's where I ended the year. And then I lost it and had to start over. So now we are at right here, which I know isn't really anything. And I've just started doing this part, and I got a little bit of this, and I jumped over here and started working on the outline of the ear and trying to get a bit more of that done, because this is all purple, and I just want to make some color, some progress on this part. But I definitely just need to get rocking and rolling on it. Kids. And here's the thing. This is what I'm going to do with this project, different than I did it the last time. The last time I did it and I started going across horizontally with the pages, started here and moving across. This time, I'm going to go down. So I'm going to go vertically and then come up and go vertically and just do that all the way across. It's something different. It'll make the pattern feel different as I'm stitching it. So I'm happy about that. I think that will take away a little bit of the sting. Because right now when I'm stitching this project, I just think to myself how far behind I am because of the fact that I lost it. And it makes me a bit sad because I wanted to be a lot further along with this project. I thought I would be this year, and I'm not. But that's okay, guys. Sometimes that's what you do. Oh, let's put you right there, Cocoa Puff. There you go. All right. So actually, you know what I need to do is I need to cross off as I go through these pages to make sure that I don't miss anything. Because otherwise, I might end up forgetting a project and feeling really bad about that because that just would not be good. All right, so now our next section, I'm going to pause it again and go from there. Okay, so this next section, let's call it the section of good intentions. And this section basically was something that I got some progress done, but not nearly as much as I thought I would get done. We're going to start with what is my largest cross-stitch project, which is called Wonders of the World, and it's from Gecko Rouge. It is about 2.5 million stitches. Thankfully, they are half stitches. That doesn't matter, though, because apparently I still don't want to work on it. It's not so much that. I think it's just so incredibly daunting, and also working with the fabric is really hard. This is the perfect project to also talk about the fact that in 2020, I'm going to finally get a cross-stitch frame. I might get 2. It's hard to say. It just depends on which one I get. I'm definitely going to get the roller frame, though. Just need to get some measurements. Now that I have all this pulled out, I can actually do some width and whatnot and figure out what I need to do. I know I'm not going to get that roller frame for months still. It could take like 3 months. That's okay. I have been waiting over a year for some things, not related to cross stitch, related to work, and so I can wait. I'm patient. I'm somewhat patient sometimes. But this would be an ideal project if I could pick up somewhere like an old quilting frame that maybe somebody's selling super cheap, like Facebook or Craigslist. I need to start looking for something like that because I could definitely set this up. And if I could set it up somewhere, then it would give me a better opportunity to stitch on it regularly. It's so much fabric. Well, let me just show you. So, got Gecko Rouge here. So this is the Wonders of the World. This thing is so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. And I am like way at the very tiny corner up here. I'm so far away from anything, but it's such a pretty thing. You can stitch this one too. It's on the Gecko Rouge site. Links to everything are going to be, they're on my blog. And I will also put a blog post on, and I'll individually link each project back to where I got it if they're still available. I know the Dachshund project, as of now, is not on the Gecko Rouge site. It's an older pattern that I don't want to say retired, maybe they're rotating it, but it's definitely something that you're not going to be able to see if you go there. But anyway, so I haven't gotten very far. Check it out. No, very. So last year, I think I'd only done like that. So I had good intentions to start the year, and I got more done. But I should be going so much faster on this. I really, really should. Now, the problem with this one is that it is 25 count. I'm not a fan of 25 count. Oh, if I can somehow, get it sort of in focus. But not a huge fan of 25 count. So this is actually a lot of stitching. It's just you can't hardly tell because it's, 25 count. So anyway, but if I actually got this going and started, I could make some serious progress. My chair is rubbing up against the back of the wall again. There we go. I'm sitting on a pillow too because normally I'm like a lot further down. So this chair that we're using now is like I'm like a shorter person than I was. But if you want to see the fabric, so the fabric for this, there's a lot of fabric for this, guys. And so this is something that I don't show very often because I haven't been stitching on it, but this is a lot of fabric. And yeah, you probably I would imagine that there's very few of you who have ever seen fabric this large. I know, it's a sickness. I know, it's a sickness. But anyway, so you can see how daunting it is and why I maybe haven't been stitching as much on it as I should. But that being said, like I said, I think if I could set it up on a quilting stand, this would have to be a project that I literally set up on a stand and then, just come back to it, set up something up here and just, come back and stitch on it a little bit here and there whenever I could. I think that would be reasonable. And the other development is this room has gotten tidied up quite a lot. I know you guys never see it, but let me tell you, it's been tidied up quite a lot. All right, you're going up here. Did I miss anything? I probably missed something, I know, but it's okay. So then I want to show you Stormtrooper, because this is another one that I, again, had good intentions, stitched a lot on one page, and then didn't go any further. So there's that. Now this is an Etsy design, and one of the things that there's a couple people out there that are actually doing this that have sent me progress pictures periodically, and one of the things that has popped up with it is that I think as you get down to the second row, there is some overlap on the pattern, and that's not noted on the pattern, and the designer did confirm that. So there's if there's a bit of an issue, just let me know and I can tell you guys. I don't have the particulars in my brain right now, but it's something that, like I said, I'm vicariously watching other people stitch this one right now because I'm just kind of like, it's black and white, man. But it's not black and white. Trust me, this is like 20 different colors. And anyway, so let me show you where I'm at. So I did this one on a slightly off color Ada because I didn't want it to be totally white. Thought that the white Stormtrooper would just not look it wouldn't pop as much. So last year I really was, I did a lot on this at the beginning of the year. I think I was I hadn't finished the first page. I was sort of part of the way down, but I hadn't finished it. So I definitely did a lot more stitching on this project, and then I just kind of stopped. And I haven't finished this page yet, and I need to. But I'm still just kind of, I'm a little wishy-washy about it. I don't know why. I'm just a little wishy-washy. 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 All right, let's put this kiddo up here. There we go. And I got a piece of floss stuck to the tape on the back of that one. So professional. All right, what else are we going to show? All right, so let's pull out Ronnie Rowe, which if you guys have been watching me, you guys know I do a lot of Ronnie Rowe designs. And this is my 4th Ronnie Rowe design. I'm doing the U.S. Capitol. And this is where I'm at right now. So this is done on 18 count white and with black thread. So I'm using 310. I get comments back and forth about you should use anchor floss. No, you should use DMC, back and forth. Listen, I just use DMC. It's easy for me to get. It's easy for me to find. I'm used to working with it. Some people think that anchor provides better coverage. And then I had somebody that came back to me and said they use DMC and they actually thought DMC provided better coverage. So it could be stitching techniques, personal preference, the way it looks at, where your eyeballs look at it. Do what you want. That's the bottom line when it comes to cross stitch anyway, do what you want. How did I get that stuck inside of that? Anyway, so I'm working on it. So let me show you, because I don't think I had started this last year. So this is actually like a newer start for the year. And I got this far along, which this is basically the tree. And I wish he hadn't put the tree in because I'd be so much further along. There's a lot of stitching with this tree in the beginning. Let me show you. So you can see it's just all the branches and the leaves and everything. So I've got to stitch like all of this before I get to anything that you're going to be able to recognize. But that's a lot of stitching too. So, I mean, I definitely made a fair bit of progress on this one this year. And the goal would be, I think for 2020, would be to finish the tree and be well into working on a building at this point. So I haven't decided if I'm just going to do this page and then come down and start stitching so that I can actually stitch the building, or go across and do the rest. I really am not sure. I think from a gridding perspective and a stitching perspective, it may just be easier to go straight down and then come across and go down and just do that all the way across. But we'll see when I get there. I'm not quite there yet, so we'll figure that out. But there you go. That's my Ronnie Rowe. So let me see if I can get this. Somehow got this thing in here. There we go. There we go. All right. We're going to put you right here. Right next to the dachshund. Alrighty. Oh, that's right. I wasn't going to. There we go. All right. So then, next up, I'm going to do Apothecary next, because I was a bit disappointed in myself when I went through and looked at Apothecary Shop to see just how little progress I made this year. But I also know that this is a lot more what we call confetti stitching, which is where you're changing colors a lot. So you're threading, rethreading and threading and threading and threading new colors all the time, and it just takes a while, and that slows me down and it demotivates me, takes away my motivation. So this is Apothecary Shop from Cross Stitch Collectibles. I love it. It is beautiful. It is so much. It's so much of my, like, one of my favorite things to stitch, in terms of, like, in the end what this is going to look like is so amazing. But when I finished last year, I had come down and I had done this whole row, and then I had started on the upper row, and I hadn't finished this page, but I had started on the upper row. So you're going to see now sort of where I'm at with this. Let me organize this a little better. And here we are. So we're about halfway down the road now. I guess it's more than I thought. I thought I would get further along, but this is more of what we did. So I was probably like about up here. So I guess I've done like over a page, a full page of this. And like I said, I really thought, I honestly, like when I was remembering doing this, I'm like, oh, it's like been 6 months. It's not been that long ago. And no, I was wrong. That was like a year ago since I did that top part. So that is crazy. That is truly crazy. So there's that. There's a possibility that I might, when I come down and finish all this, I might, I don't know, just go all the way across with this just to make a lot of progress on this roof part. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see. So, but that's Apothecary Shop, 14 count Ada. For those of you who also worry that, you get your Ada, and there's a video that I've done that talks about how to soften your Ada. Because one of the biggest criticisms that I ever see about Ada fabric is that it's so stiff. It's stiff, it's hard to work with, it doesn't feel good. Well, there's ways that you can pre-soften your Ada before you start working. And one of the things that I like to do with Ada is I actually don't pre-soften my Ada. I enjoy the process of working with it over a period of time, and it just naturally softens. Like this Apothecary Shop, I've been working on it now for a couple of years, and this thing is like so soft. It's literally so soft. And there's something to that, like working the fabric to get to that point. So, but maybe that's just me. All right, let's put Apothecary Shop up, and then we're going to move on to the next cross stitch collectibles piece. I'm going to slide that in right there. Oh, and that's baseball. Now, baseball, I'm finding dog hairs, cat hairs, everything all over the place. Thankfully, bird feathers stay where the birds are. So let me show you. So this is baseball, and I love baseball. I really do. Again, I love the look of this project. There's just so much confetti stitching that it's just taking me way too long to do this. And it's demotivating, and I just don't get as much done as I want to be getting done. Almost looks like that guy sat in something. He didn't. That's a stain that came from like me, not from him. Okay, it's okay. All right. Anyway, so when I ended last year, I had gotten to about this point, and specifically this player here was just kind of starting to come into view. You're just beginning to kind of tell that that's who that was. The umpire had maybe like one row of dark stitches right here, and that was about it. And this project went away for months this year. I wasn't feeling it. I was working on other things, and I came back to it towards the last third of the year and started stitching on it again, partly because I could get so much done of this umpire. I'm like, I can look at all the stuff I can stitch. It's like 3 colors. I can stitch so much. And so I started doing that. But I didn't get very far. I got kind of far. I got most of a page done. So there's that. So, yeah, I know. So I was down to about here. So from here down is everything I got done this year. But at least you can kind of see him. He's got a little mustache now that I think that's what that is. And he's coming through. I've gone back up and I filled in more. I still need to fill in a bunch of the stuff up here before I leave this row. But it's not too much. Let's go down. It's not too much more, so to speak, because I am about right here on him. So from there down would be the rest of the pattern. So I think it's eminently doable to finish this row this coming year, and that includes all the spots that I have skipped over for now. I mean, I absolutely should get this done, and so I think that'll be very doable. And this is another big project, although I think that the fabric, some of this fabric, the old stuff that I have that looks like it's like 3 years old, or that I've had for the longest, the fabric is, there's too much fabric. And a lot of that is because when I first started using a stitching shop, I'm pretty confident, if I remember, that I told them what I wanted cut, instead of saying, this is my stitch count, this is I want 14 count Ada, and my stitch count is, 100 times 100 or whatever, and then have them take care of it. I basically told them what I wanted in terms of size, And that's why I'm going to have like such ridiculous amounts of fabric left over. You can see it in Apothecary Shop, you can see it in this. And so once I kind of started letting them actually measure and figure out, and now the fabric looks like it's supposed to. So if it looks like I'm way off, that's why. That is why. All right. Oh, I'm getting a huge pile of fabric. All right, baseball. Up you go. You haven't been on the wall in a while. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. Next section. Hang on a second. All right. So this next section of cross-stitch projects are projects that I made the most progress on that I had already started in 2019. And, that I'd started all these. So the first one I'm going to show you is one that I actually don't have the design for. It's downstairs, and I'm not going to go downstairs and grab it because I'm not 100% sure where it's at. And it's something that I need to look into. But when I started this project this past year, or earlier, a year ago when I had started it, I didn't get very much done on it. It is the It Is Well project, and this is the one I'm doing for my mom. And this one, basically, I had, like I said, I barely started, and I put it away for a lot of the year. And then I came back to it, and now we're cooking with Crisco here. So last year, basically, I think I was like here. I had done this and maybe part of this. So, and this year there's a lot more to show. This is definitely a finish in 2020. The bottom of the pattern is down here. And the only thing that slowed me down was that I'm having a little bit of a hard time finding a specific gentle art thread right now. And because I guess they're having some problems with manufacturing or something. And so it's a little hard for me to get, but I can still do so many other things with this before I need that. And yeah, that's pretty much kind of, where we're at with that. So I had to pause for a second because I was going to sneeze there. I'm either having allergies or I'm going to get sick. And I haven't barely been sick this year, so who knows, maybe that's it. But anyway, so this is the far end as well. So I really, honestly, I get motivated on this sucker. I got a month, maybe 2 months. And my goal is to get, at least for my mom's cross stitch, I want to get this project done and hopefully another project done for her a little bit later in the year. Because my mom works at a church, and she has a little office in her church, a little corner office. And, well, actually, it's in the big room. She has, like, this desk over on the side. And she only has, like, one of my cross stitches up there. Now, I have plenty that I have sent to her that she has at home. This is the only one that she has in her office. And I'm like, that's not enough. I need to do more. So this is one that I'm going to earmark for her office and hopefully get this done soon and sent off to her framed and looking good. So there is It As Well. All right, the next one up is another one that I had only just started at the end of 2019. And I actually, if you look at the video from a year ago, I didn't even show this piece because I think I'd only done like 20 stitches on it. But I'm counting it as a 2018 start, because technically it was. And it is my Chicago Bears project. Now, I've gotten a lot stitched on it, but in the last couple months, I've really fallen off the wagon because I kind of don't watch football anymore. So I'm sort of like, I don't want to stitch this. But I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. So this is the Chicago Bears piece. I love this old-time bear. That's my favorite Bears logo of all time. So again, I barely started it up here. And stitching, I stitched quite a bit. So I got the whole Chicago part, well, almost all the Chicago part done. But I'm almost done with this whole red, orange, thing and the lettering and everything. And then I can move down to actually filling in all the other stuff down here. So, and this is not a very large project, but everything counts. I'm actually quite proud of that progress, to be honest with you. So you can see where I focused on it. And next up is basically just going to be working on all the blue and the white and the gray and all that. So we'll just keep working on it, but I'm pretty happy about it. This is 18 count white Aida again. And so yeah, and the funny thing is that I'm using a lot of colors in that one that I haven't really been using on anything else. A lot of colors, a lot of DMC in the 900s are what I'm using for this project. So it's different. It's different colors and I like it. Oh, right there. That's my chirp. Okay. All right, so let's cross off the bears. Next up, it's going to be Reaper. And so Reaper is probably the project that I got the second most progress done on this year. And I had to go back and really look at where I was this time this time last year. I'm going to show them to you. This is a Pain-Free Crafts design. Ooh, it's scary. And so I'm doing this for a friend of mine who loves Halloween, and I need to stitch something for him. I talked about that earlier today in my other video that's coming out tomorrow. This video will be coming out on Saturday. But so Scary Reaper. So where I was before, let me just use my hand basically, and if I could just see everything above my hand, that's what I had stitched. Like I had come down here, had done the full thing here, hadn't gotten to any of this light part, came up and over, and I had so much left of the front of the first like row of stitch. I just had a lot to do. And so finally I kicked it in. I was so happy with myself when I finally kicked it in gear, and this is how far I've gotten. So I'm super duper happy with it, because not only would I say that I added a full page worth of stitching on this top row between all this area here and what I had to finish here, but I also have pretty much a page, like 2 more pages, and then I'm working on which is the last full page down here. So I mean, I easily doubled my progress, and I'm hoping that by this time next year what we'll see is I want to do all the way down, and then I think I'm going to take the top row of these pages and just do the top like grid, 10 by 10 grid, all the way across to make sure that I line everything up correctly, and then get over here and then go all the way down, and then come in eventually and do the face last, because I think that will be the coolest. And this is going to look so amazing. See, there's the highlighted part, literally. And it's going to look so amazing. But I'm super proud of the progress made on this piece. I still laugh when I think about, I used to say, and I think when I first got this, I'm like, oh, I'll have it done in like 8 months. You know, that was back when I stitched 4 hours every day, and I had that kind of time to make this progress. And so I'm really happy with this piece, because I really want my friend to get this cross stitch eventually, and hopefully that eventually is probably not 2020, but hopefully 2021. So that's what we're shooting for, at least. All right, Reap. Come here, Reaper. Now you go up. I'm going to put you behind me because I think you scare people. So I'm going to put you behind me so that nobody can see you. Haha. All right, we're going to knock that off. All right. Rainy Waterloo Place. I guess my final cross-stitch collectibles piece. And that I'm going to show you today. I have more. I'm not going to show those to you today. But Rainy Waterloo Place is one that I do love. I do love the look of it. Let me show you. This is my getting wrinkled up. I love it. It's like a sepia-toned, black and whitish kind of. It's from, what, 1870, 1880? I don't know, something like that. No, probably. No, those are cars. Maybe it's 1900 something. No, those are horse-drawn wagons. Those are like cabs. And so, anyway, so as of last year, this time last year, so this is like four rows across, okay? So I got in the first row across, and the second row, I had made it about right to here. And that's where I was a year ago. And I stitched a lot on this piece this year. This was easily the one that I think every week I made the most progress on, or at least most commonly made the most progress on. And so here we are today. And so I finished that row, and then I've come down and gotten all this done. So I probably got four pages, 4 full pages done, which that would be, you know, well, that's a perfect vertical row right here. So that's a lot. That's a lot of stitching. This is a 14 count Aida as well. And I'm almost done with this second column here. And my hope is in this next year is that I finish this and I come over here and I finish all this and I'm on, like, I'm way over here somewhere is my goal. So that is where we're at. Let me make sure that you guys can see it. But that is where I'm at, and I just love this. It is, here, I'll show you guys the back. Usually I don't show you guys the back because I'll show you the back. But this is what the back looks like. How cool is that? That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So, you can see it close up. It sometimes gets really messy. The good thing about this project is that there maybe 15 to 18 colors, and there's not a ton of color changes like there are in almost all my other projects. So the back can look really nice. If you look at the back of something like Old World Map 2, it looks completely different. It does not look good at all. But this looks pretty dang good. But this is definitely one that I'm going to finish soon. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, when I say soon, I mean, I think in a year I'll be talking about how I'm going to finish it the following year. So it'll be likely be like a 2021 finish is what I'm shooting for, unless something dramatic happens and I get a lot of stitching done this year, because who knows what's going to happen with this year, but we'll leave that for that. All right, let's put some Rainy Waterloo up here. We're going to put it up here. Perfect. I think I'm just going to leave this all up. I think I can leave this all up when I'm done. All right, for like future stuff, I'll just move Reaper away from the back of my head, and I'll probably move this one too because it's catching too much of the light. I can't help that. I got some lights because it's in the thing, and I'm not taking it out because Ronnie Rowe actually signed this one, so I'm not taking it out of that thing. So I got my curly hair. I don't know why my hair is so curly all of a sudden. Old World Map 2. Old World Map 2, I call it my lifetime project because literally it's going to take my whole lifetime to finish, especially with the kind of progress I made this year. I am going to show you where I am. Now, I did make some good progress. I was looking at the video where I was before. My goal was to finish the whole first row, and that didn't even come close to happening. But let me show you this. This is from Golden Kite, and this is a beautiful project that I don't think I'm going to be able to get quite in focus for you, so I'm going to use a pen to show you roughly where I was at the... Here, let me put my finger there. Roughly about right here. So, top row, I had done all of this, and then how much did I do this year? I think I'm about right here. I don't know. We'll find out here shortly. Maybe I'm right here. I think I'm right here. So, that's probably average for about the amount of progress that I make for this piece in a year, but I had hoped to do more. I'm going to show you that right now. If you've been watching this at all, what's up, kitty? If you've been watching this on my stuff, you know that this piece is really difficult, again, from just the color change perspective, and when I kind of fall out of love with it, it takes me a while to get back in love with it, but I will get back into it. I haven't stitched it in easily over a month now. And I gotta get back in gear. So, that can't be right. No, it's got to be here. So I started the year here, and now I'm here. And then this was everything before. Starting next year, I'm going to have to pull this back even further. And then that's the end of the thing. And then this one's not as big as Wonders of the World, but it's still really large. It's like 4 foot by 5 foot. It's a lot of fabric. And it's 18 count, Ada, of course. And because I told you that it looks terrible on the back, let me pull off some old floss. This just looks like just a crazy tapestry on the back. Check that out. It's just a jumble. It's just a jumble of mess. Do I care? No, I don't care. And you shouldn't care either, because as long as you can frame it, then who cares what the back looks like? It's totally fine. It's totally fine. So, now, some people have said that I should try parking with this particular project, and I get you on that. Parking is where, I hope I can explain this well, because I don't actually park on any of my projects. The reason why I don't park on any of my projects is because I stitch in a lot of different locations in my house, and I am dealing with 6 dogs, and I will sometimes put something in a bag and not see it for 6 months. I don't want to have floss dragging from... I just feel like I'm just leaving myself open to damaging the floss, the project, getting things caught, getting really mad at myself. I just don't have it set up to where I can do that. It just would be... It's just too much for me. I cannot do it. So, but this would be one of those where I could not possibly do like vertical parking, where I park here and then I'm coming down here next. Just, there's so much color change. I mean, you should, well, let me show you. It's not going to work as well with this project because like you go from up here, then you come down here. Like this is going to be like what the second row looks like. So it may have some things in common, but not a ton. And like I said, I mean, this is my third, am I starting my 4th year on this project? I think I'm starting my 4th year on this project. So I'm pretty sure that my husband and I had been together for maybe 6 months. Before I got this project. I think it was 6 months. Or maybe it was a year. I don't remember now. But I'm probably starting my 4th year on this project, and I'm still on the top row. Let's say I'm starting my 3rd year. That sounds better. Anyway, so there we are. There's where we need to be. Can we make the top of the row by the end of the year? I think we can. But look how close I am to finishing this page. I am so close. I've just got to fill in a little bit here, and then I got to come up here and fill that part in, and then I'm done. So I'm really close. And then once I get that done, sandlosis, and then I'm just right here. And I'm just right up here where all this letter and stuff starts. And just go right across. It's definitely doable. Definitely doable. All right, let me put this back up here. So then, let's put a world map up on the thing. And then we're going to start our last section. So, well, second to last section, I think. I'm trying to make this a long video because, personally, I like long videos. And I think some of you guys out there, my most crazy fellow stitchers, you guys like them too. So, hold on, next section. Okay, now this section is comprised of 3 projects that I started this year. I'm not including Dachshund because technically I'd started it the year before and I'm just restarting it. So these are new projects that I'm starting this year that I just had to stitch and that I needed to get started on. The first one is the Mini Felis from Artisy, and this was one that when I saw it, I have to do it. I'm doing it for a work project. This is what it looks like. Having cut it down, it looks really, really cool, doesn't it? And I just literally started it in the last month, so I'm not very far along. I'm working on 18 count white Ada again, and that's all I've gotten done so far. But it's something that I'm really looking forward to, and getting some color in. You guys can see I don't do a ton of color, so when I do color, it's very welcome. So it's very, very welcome. So I'm going to put this up. This will actually be the first time that I've put this up with it cut. So that's kind of cool. So let's put you right there for now. Oh, and then next up, floss. Next up is the second Scarlet Quince project. So I'm pretty sure I hadn't started this one. In fact, I remember now, I started this one when we went to Estes Park in January of last year. I decided to start this project. Man, this year went by fast. And that was also the last time I worked on the Dachshund, I think. Oh man, that's crazy. At least I think it was. But anyway, so this is the Tower of Babel. And I love this. I always wanted to do this as a jigsaw puzzle. So I'm doing it as a cross stitch now because I saw it as a cross stitch. I'm like, I have to do this. So this is another blended thread project. And I truly love it. And I'm going to show you how far along I have gotten. Definitely a lot further along than this project. That is a more dreary project. Where did I start? So here we are. So now I chose a sort of an off-white 14 count Ada. Is it 14 count? Yeah, 14 count Ada again, and it kind of blends in. The colors kind of blend in a fair bit. Now that's the bottom of the page, and that's the top of the page, this side. So I haven't finished the whole page yet, but that's sort of where I'm at. And this is something that I could definitely see myself getting a fair bit of work done on this year. But I just thought it was so pretty. I just wanted to do it. I'm sort of replacing working on this one right now with working on this because it's just easier for me to stitch it. And sometimes that's just what you got to do. When you're trying to make some progress in my world, it's a good thing. So I got this big thing here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this one down. Come here. Before it. Am I going to break you as I do this? There we go. I'm going to take this one down. I'm going to put this one up in its place for now. Until I get pictures. Copy some pictures and put them up here instead. And then the last one is the one that I'm most excited about. I think this was found in 2019 by one of you crazies who said, go look at this pattern. Go look at this pattern. And I did, and I said, you're right. I got to have it, and I got to stitch it, and I got to start it this year. So it is a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's called Honeybee Portrait. And I'm just going to show it to you because it's so gorgeous. Now, for those of you who don't know, my husband and I are beekeepers. And we have 7 hives right now. We had a great honey harvest this past fall. Great honey harvest. And but we very much appreciate and love the bees. And if you can tell, the bee has actually got like a lock. The bee is like a lock on its back, and the flowers actually hold keys. And this is the most gorgeous thing ever. Now, if you go on the HADE site, the Heaven and Earth Designs site, and look for this, you're going to see this in both the full artwork, which is what I got. Like, everything is stitched on this one. Or there is a pattern where only, like, the background, like, you could use... what's the word? I want to say pre-tinted, but that's not right. But you use, the what people do with the fabric when they make the colors and they do it all themselves, the fancy fabric. You can do it with that. But I really love the look of this. So I started working on it. And at first when I started working on it, I was thinking to myself, man, this is going to take a while because this is not very exciting. And this is going to take a bit. But then I found Pattern Keeper. And it is this project that has benefited the most by far with Pattern Keeper. I love working on this project now. I look forward to working on it every week. And I've been making progress on it. Now the pages for it are huge. So I'm going to show you the first page that I have here. And I'm almost done with it. I'd say I'm over 2/3 of the way through it. But remember, like I said, this has been done just this year, and most of this progress has been made just in the past maybe 3 months or so. So this is where we're at. And so it's is it 18 count? Looks like it's 18 count. I think it's 18 count. And so that's where we're at. So I think this is all the first page. I don't have it with me, but it's on my phone, that's why. And so you guys can see I'm getting so much done because of Pattern Keeper. And I feel like it'll be interesting to see this year how much progress gets made on this project with Pattern Keeper versus the others that don't have Pattern Keeper. So please, Pattern Keeper, please Cross Stitch Collectibles, help me out. Anyway, you want to see all the fabric? A lot of fabric with this one. And there's floss everywhere because that's how it is. It actually goes this way. And so, ta-da! It's a lot. It's okay. I got nothing else to do but stitch. It's okay. It's all good. Alright, so now I left all this information because I love the font, I love the name, I love all that stuff. So I left a lot of that up on the thing here. We're going to turn around, we're going to make a lot of noise, and we're going to put this up here. Ta-da! Alright. Now, the last things that I want to show you, I've got some things that I wanted to show you. I don't have any more fabric or anything, but I wanted to show... Well, I do have fabric. What am I talking about? There are some things that may end up getting started at some point this year. Don't kill me. One is a small project It's the Stanley Hotel. I don't have the pattern right here, but it's one that we got up in Estes Park when we went up last January. And it's not a very large project, but it's something that I kind of want to stitch a little bit on. I'm going to do it in DMC, and I just got this little bit of, it's 14 count. It's only like 17 inches by 11 inches, so it's really not that big. So it's not that much of stuff, but again, it's going to be time taken away from everything else. I'm not going to do this one this year, but I did get Artisty's black and white Brooklyn Bridge. I love the Brooklyn Bridge. I actually have a few more there. I think they're over there. I'm not starting any of the other Brooklyn Bridge projects that I have. I love them. I'm not starting them. I just can't. And then the last one was I had the fabric for the Basset Hound, because this is another project that I would like to do for work. And that's it. I mean, look how gorgeous that thing is. That thing is so gorgeous. And if the cat project is going quickly, then I don't know if I'll start this or not, but I'm pulled to it. I'm really pulled to it. It's those eyes. I'm telling you, it's those eyes. The other thing that changed this year for me, my eyeballs. So I went from not using reading glasses to using these reading glasses that I got again when I was in Estes, because I'm like, I can't see. And then I had to get these the other day because I needed a stronger diopter. These are 1.5s and these are 1.75s. Yes, I am going blind, I think. And these are a little bit too strong for me, but these are also sometimes a little too weak for me. So I need like a 1.6 is what I need. But I have to use it now, especially for the smaller ones. It just makes my eyes work a little bit better. They're not straining so much. And that's kind of how that is. So, now, if you've seen my other videos, if you go back and watch the one from 2 years ago, or I'm not sure if I did, I don't think I did it last year, but 2 years ago I did the video for that end of year was everything that I have, like all my projects, because I have more than just what I showed here. I have another probably 8 to 10 projects that I have no clue as to when I'm actually going to do any of them. I know I want to do them. I have more cross-stitch collectibles. I have more sports ones. I have things that I want to do, but I have to get these other projects done first. I have to make some finishes of these larger projects before I can move on. Now the It Is Well project, that is an example of that. When I finish It As Well, I'm going to move into some more My Big Toe design projects, because I'm keeping those sort of in a straight line, that when I finish one, I'll move into the next one with those. And then say like the ones up here that have all the lettering and stuff in them, like when I finally finish this one, then I may finally pull out that Gettysburg Address one that I have for Lincoln as well. That would be cool. I have wanted to put an Abraham Lincoln sort of display on the Stitchy wall at some point, and that is something that I would want to do. Star Wars, if I finish Boba Fett, or if I kick it to the curb finally this year, which I need to finish it. I have another Star Wars one that I want to do. This one is a Yoda, and it has a lot of really cool greens in it, so I'm kind of excited about that, especially with the whole Baby Yoda thing with Star Wars. So that might get done, but I'm not showing you guys those pieces, because otherwise every year it'd be like 15 minutes of here's this project, never gonna do it, maybe I'll do it, I'm gonna do it in 5 years. And I don't want to do that every single year. I just want to show you guys what I'm actually working on, and the things that are highly probable that I'll begin soon, because I'm insane. And there you have it. That is it. Goals. Let's talk about real quick goals for 2020. My goal, first of all, is to get at least one more thing finished. I don't care what that is among these projects, but I need to get at least one finished. I believe I could probably see 3 finishes. I should see a finish of Boba. I should see this one finished. I should see It As Well finished. And that might be it. But that would be great. I need to see a lot more progress with some of the other ones. I need to be in position to have finishes of some of my larger projects in 2021. So that's what I'm working on. Blog goals. My blog basically is I love helping people. I love to, like, I could make videos, I could continue to make videos of like how I do this, how I do that, but I don't really find myself that great of an authority about certain things. I think I am when it comes to doing lots of projects at the same time, and especially like full coverage, large cross stitch. That's what I do. But finding things that are, like, finding someone who does more stylistic cross stitch, or that's why I have the blog, and that's why I have that massive list of over 600 other channels on YouTube that do cross stitch. I'll link it down below. You can go take a look. If you're interested in any of these pieces, I also have a blog page that details cross stitch pattern sites, and there's so many more that I haven't done yet. I want to do more videos on other cross stitch pattern designers and cross stitch pattern sites. I want to continue to kind of bring more things to you guys that maybe you haven't seen before, that I learn about. As I learn about them, try to bring them to you. But for the most part, what I want to just do is sort of be sort of a helper and show you guys what other people are doing and have you discover them and find them amazing as they are. So, and I want to do that not just with cross stitch, but with a lot of other hobbies as well. I'm definitely turning the blog into a hobby site. I would love for it to be a future endeavor that I can continue for years to come. I'm really very, I feel very positive about it, and I feel like it's a good resource for people. So, but be sure to comment down below if you feel like there's anything that you really want me to focus on. And also, we're going to continue to do more giveaways in the next year. I may move some of those giveaways to the blog to kind of encourage more traffic there, but likely I'll probably, what I like to do is I kind of hide them in my channel. If you saw earlier, there were some giveaways from my bobbin.com, and I do giveaways on my channel periodically, but I hide them in my content, meaning I don't normally announce them. I don't announce them on my title, and I don't talk about them in the beginning of the video. You kind of have to watch the video all the way through. So if there's ever something that, I don't know. I'm going to continue to give things away, so you kind of have to watch the whole video to know if I'm giving something away or not. But I hope you guys find this entertaining, and I want to thank you. The channel has continued to grow, and I love it. It's something that my family really enjoys seeing the videos. My friends enjoy seeing the videos. They know, kind of knowing what I'm doing. But you guys are what's made all this possible. The channel has grown to, how many subscribers do I have now? Over 4,000, almost 5,000. Is it 5,000 or more? I don't know. Anyway, the channel has grown more than double this year, and it's just been amazing. It really has, and you guys are the best, and I really appreciate you guys so much. And there's so many of you that have commented so much over the last couple of years. We're coming up on the 3rd anniversary of this channel, and so many of you guys have been around for, honestly, almost since the beginning, and I really appreciate you very much. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you guys in 2020 with more crazy videos. And I'm going to actually go down, and I think I'm going to stitch some tonight. Yep, I think I am. I'm all ready to go stitch. So, happy cross stitching, happy stitching, and I'll see you in 2020. Thank you.